We are now live.
Mm. Good
There's the
evening.
countdown.
No, I said, ooh, a countdown.
Okay.
Welcome to the greatest show on the web, powered by the neosoulcypher.com.
All right. Yes, the Neo Soul Cypher show is in the house.
And the trio is here.
Yes.
How are
Yes.
y'all doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Cannot complain. It is warming up a little bit, man. So I can't complain. It's about that time of year. It's the kind of the really good time of year where it's not too hot, not too cold. You get to enjoy being outside a little bit.
That's always good.
Yeah, man.
And we have the cool storms. We do here, right, Q-Man? Have you seen all the nice? I'm a nature person. I was sitting
Wow.
outside enjoying the storms
How do you like that?
because nature is my god. Really, you don't love storms?
All right.
She's very unpredictable.
You didn't know that? I'm a nature girl. Oh yeah, man.
Wow.
I'll sit
Well,
outside as long as I can. I'll sit outside until lightning gets too close.
you all may notice that I am lightly eating. This has become a thing. So, as you can see, our boss is here. And as long as he grins, I'm okay. See, I've learned to read the tells. But once he makes the serious face, then I know
Oh, my
it's
goodness.
becoming an issue.
Does he like clench his jaws like?
Yeah, he has a whole, he doesn't even know he does it.
They get like real tight
Actually,
right there.
when he's beginning to feel a little distressed about what's happening.
Okay.
His whole
Okay.
energy changes and I can feel it. And I'm
All
like,
right. You can feel it over.
okay.
Man, this is the deal though. Seriously. You're gonna have to start making some commercials, man, off of your eats.
I should, man, because I got
Definitely.
my Dairy Queen Mr. Misty with strawberry ice cream in it.
Yeah, man.
Jesus.
You can get some good rates. Get some more revenue on the show, my
Go
brother.
to tropical smoothie.
Tropical smoothie. Well, like
Yeah.
a punk? No.
Nice.
That is not.
Natural.
That is absolutely not happening. So, what did you guys do last weekend?
Man, see, it's a very, very basic and very consistent question and answer for this whole period. Nothing. There's we're not getting out and about yet. We've just been home. We've been kind of relaxing a little bit, trying to take care of some business here and there as well.
Mhm.
Enjoying the outdoors a little bit in the backyard, so feeling that a little bit. But otherwise, man, nothing of significance. Just trying to. I know people believe that it's all behind us, but I'm not in that camp quite yet. So
No. I watched the movie with Michael B. Jordan, the Remorse movie.
Yes,
I enjoyed it.
I heard it was good.
Remorse
And-
thinking something.
Yeah, and you know what I
Without
like?
remorse, right?
Yes. You know what I like the most? His co-star wasn't just a black woman; she was a real black woman. Like you don't see that a lot.
No, was she the same one that played on Queen and Slim?
I
Or
never
son?
saw I never saw Queen and Slim.
Yeah,
Did she play in Black Panther?
No.
I think I saw her in Queen. I think.
Okay.
Guys, correct me if I'm wrong. Because I'm looking at her.
We got to figure that out. I did see
something.
Queen and Slim, but I haven't seen Without Remorse, so I can't validate for you.
I like that in a mainstream movie that I'm watching, there's a black woman that's not,
Well, you think you like it.
giving into the norms. She wasn't
We love
light skinned with the long hair, that whole thing. Did I say something wrong, Regina? What did I say wrong?
You did.
He's keeping it real.
It's just, I know, but there's a little cognitive dissonance there because we're still, yes, it's that you do look at the screens and you're like, okay, well, they don't look like the real black woman, but that's not fair either, is it?
Exactly.
So I catch myself, but no, I catch myself when I say the real black woman. What is the real black woman? So you're light skinned, you're not the real black woman.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I'm a little.
I don't concur with this whole notion of a real black woman per se.
Yes,
but what I can say
uncomfortable
is that there are certain norms that there have historically been.
Absolutely.
And so those, when you see those transitioning and changing, and there's some diversity in portrayals, that is actually a welcome, sign, frankly. So
I
it's a
honestly,
good
I
thing.
loved seeing her. I loved seeing the natural hair. I
Yes,
love the dark skin. I
yes,
love the fact that her features look a lot more African than mine do. I was like, oh my God, I don't, I'm like, she's gorgeous. I love it.
yes.
But
She,
in the same token,
yes.
I still feel a little.
I
I
love
feel
it.
bad.
She does not shop at Sephora. She was completely just natural and
Well,
real.
again, I haven't seen the movie, but I'm assuming she's part of this kind
I
of
want to.
paramilitary thing. So she got to
Hmm.
keep it real
Hmm.
on the paramilitary tip. So, you know,
What's?
Exactly.
Let me see. I'm sorry. I was googling to see what her
Of
name was again.
course. So,
yes,
Well, okay.
yes.
What was it?
Real
Okay.
time research. There's nothing like real
This.
time research.
While
Th-
Regina's doing that, because she has AOL dial-up, what is going on in the music world?
Yeah.
Anything new, pressing? Anything you guys have heard or?
Yeah,
Jodie
yeah.
Turner. I'm sorry. I'm obsessed now. Okay. Sorry.
Wow.
Well, in terms of the music news, one thing I will say is that we've had some significant birthdays
Okay.
over the last week or so that we've highlighted on our social media, and you'll see elsewhere. You got, like my man James Brown is
Mm,
doing the thing, and obviously he's no longer with us, but it was his birthday this past week, so we have to give him some props because honestly, James Brown is pretty much the foundation, one of the pillars of hip hop, if not the main pillar, is one of the main pillars of hip hop. So we got to give him some credit on that. And the other thing I want to mention as well is that this may not have been this past week, maybe the last couple of weeks, but Master P has been in the
mm,
news,
mm-hmm.
really talking a little bit about what we can do to try to help out some of the rappers that haven't maintained kind of the resources
Yes.
they had when they had their hit records, and how can we support them. And there was actually an article that I know that we posted on our social media as well. I forget which publication it was, but they did a great job of kind of explaining how difficult it is to kind of be a middle-aged rap artist, because you don't necessarily still get followed and supported like you'll see some of these traditional rock bands that are aging and the like. And for example, we've had some losses recently.
Hmm.
I think they referred to obviously Black Rob, DMX, but I go back to Ecstasy from Houdini as well. And,
Mm.
so you got all this, and so it's a great. I think so. Master P was really okay. How can we really support these folks? Do we need a hip hop union? That sort of thing. So it was interesting to hear what he had to say about that.
I feel torn when it comes to James Brown, only because he had that thing with my favorite, Tammy Terrell. So
The violence.
yes,
That's
like
what I was like.
I can't deny what he did musically, but
Yes.
me as a lover of Tammy Terrell, I'm always torn when it comes to James Brown.
That's sort of like
Yeah,
me. Yeah. Like with R. Kelly, is he talented? Yes. Do I like his? No, I don't.
yeah,
Totally.
I can't mess with the Kells at
And
all.
the
So
violence,
I
the
can't.
violence
I'm
against women,
sorry.
and James Brown does have
Yeah,
a history of, had a history of being violent with women. So to me, it's
Yeah,
sort of like,
yeah, it's like it's torn.
yeah,
I'm always
absolutely.
torn when it comes to him because of that.
yeah. No, it's important to bring that up in the context of talking about his greatness, because quote unquote greatness has got to be qualified when these people are flawed and have hurt members of our community, and we got to be
Right.
very cognizant of that. No doubt about it.
Mhm.
Very well said. But
Indeed, indeed.
you said greatness, so that should transition us into our guest this evening.
Absolutely.
So tell us who we have on.
So we've got Uncle Nephew, who's going to be joining us very shortly, and he's part of the True Culture Collective. But I'll let him get into a little bit more. But we're excited to have him on. He's a talent, and he's a talent in many different dimensions. So we're going to allow him to kind of explain those dimensions to us, and talk a little bit about his latest music, latest projects, and kind of some of his perspectives on the industry and the state of hip hop, R&B, and all that good stuff. And so, with that, we are going to bring in Uncle Nephew. What's up, my brother?
how you guys doing? Thank you for having me.
Oh man, we're doing good. We're doing.
I got the headphones situated.
Got it. All right. Cool. It can be a struggle. The struggle is real sometimes, man.
Yeah,
I feel you.
it is. It is.
Welcome. We are glad to have you on it, bro. It's good to
Thank
see you
you.
again. You look like you're
Thank you.
working too.
A little bit. Things are coming back. I'm playing Apollo in like less than 2 weeks. Yeah, doing like a little week residency. Still waiting on that contract, but we're supposed to be doing it. And then we had gotten booked. True Culture had gotten booked for something in August the other day, and then I got another gig in New York for like September the other day. So things are coming back.
Coming
slowly but
back.
surely. Yeah.
Nice. Oh, that's right. Because I heard that Broadway is going to be opening up in mid-September.
Good.
I didn't know that, but that's great.
Yeah. Broadway is opening up with no restrictions.
Wow.
Supposedly, come. I was September 14th. Or I know it's mid-September sometime. So that should be quite, interesting. And if it could pull it off without any hiccups, that'd be wonderful.
I'm a little scared because they said the whole city's opening up on July 1st.
Wow.
Everybody doesn't have their vaccine.
Right.
It might be a little too early to just open wide up, with no restrictions, and then we get put back into the hole.
Yeah.
But hey, if I get called for a gig,
Yeah.
I ain't gonna be mad.
I think people are desperate though, man. I think people are on that precipice of desperation, man. Like I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
That's me. I went to my first event Friday. Marcus Machado had his listening party.
Nice.
And that was like the first event with like people and live music, in like over a year, so that was a little weird, but it was great at the same time,
So did you feel fearful at all, or were you?
No,
did you forget about it?
I have one. I got my first vaccine shot. I get my second on the 12th, so I'm not really, It is what it is at this point.
That's what I did this weekend, Q. It didn't bother. I was tired a little bit, but
you did.
She got her
second one.
shot. She got her second shot.
Yeah.
Oh, you got the second one. Okay.
Yeah, it's like
that's good because
it wasn't that bad.
We were concerned. We were concerned.
You have a certain lifestyle. You should have.
What does that mean? Look, wait. Look at music here was like in full force because I'm in Ocean City, and I was at this club. I won't name the place, but I went in. Or I was with my friends. One was celebrating her birthday. The music, it was packed. First of all, it was Sausage Fest, so I was like, "Ooh, okay." No one had on mask.
Alrighty.
It was the dance floor was packed,
I'm out of here.
and then they said they were gonna. The next night was maskless night. It's like, ooh. So yeah, it's sort of like you're torn because you want to be out there. You want that music. You need that music, but still, it's a little scary at the same time.
That's
Ray,
crazy.
How does she keep her job, Ray? She just said Sausage Fest.
I wasn't gonna let it go, man. I wasn't gonna mention it. I was just gonna keep it moving.
That's unbelievable.
I'm sorry.
I was gonna keep it moving, man.
Sorry, I forget.
So, Unkle Nephew, how has your creative process been in the last couple of months, knowing that things are opening up? Does that enhance your thought process, your creative process, or is pretty much the same as it's always been?
Pretty much the same. I guess it puts a bit of pressure on, to get ready physically because I'm a drummer. Get prepared for gigs, but creatively, I mean, I just put out 2 records, in the midst of a pandemic, and I'm a good ways through another one with BD3, my partner, so I don't think we're really behind. I think we're ahead of the curve when it comes to that, but mainly just getting ready, playing wise, because, doing them 90-minute shows, it ain't easy. I can't play for about an hour without, stopping at this point.
Yeah.
Really? Wow. Okay. So basically you're saying you got to get your stamina back because you haven't.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
It's almost like an athletic thing, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Especially depending on the type of music it is.
Yeah.
Wow. I never thought of it that way. That's really interesting.
Yeah, it is. It's almost like an aerobic exercise.
A lot of physical activity.
Oh God. Oh yeah.
Wow. I just
So,
learned something.
so are you a little afraid? Like, I wonder if artists like haven't done this in a year or over a little bit. Are they afraid? Like, oh God, what's going to come out of my mouth? What's going to come through my fingers? What's going to come? Yeah,
I'm
you know,
sorry.
are you a
Repeat that
little?
again. Repeat that again. Your question got a little messed up. The Wi-Fi.
Oh, okay. I was wondering, are you a little? I don't want to say afraid or I don't know. Let's say afraid of what are you gonna be like not doing it for so long? Like a singer might wonder, I don't know what's gonna come out of my mouth, how I'm gonna sound. I haven't done it. What's gonna come through my fingers when I'm a musician? Are you a little nervous because maybe normally you were doing it all the time, and then when that break, does it take away
Not,
confidence? That's what I want to say. That's it.
not necessarily. A little bit, because I play almost every day. I do content videos, and I've done gigs here and there throughout the pandemic. And I know a lot of cats that don't play regularly, so I ain't really worried about that. Even out of the pandemic, a lot of cats don't practice as much as I do. So
Mm.
I'm not really worried about that. I mean, I get times where I go into like a slump where I don't feel like playing, but if I got called for a gig tomorrow, I'd be ready.
Mm,
Be ready to go. Absolutely, man.
it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah. So, all right. This is one of the things I always like to find out in conjunction with musicians. What's the origin story? I mean, what prompted you to start out on the drums and be a percussionist?
I don't know. The story goes, I've been playing since I was 3, taking lessons since I was about 4 or 5. I started
Okay.
doing the school band thing in junior high school. Took lessons through high school. Junior high school is when I started doing like musicals and stuff. When I got into high school, I went to. I was fortunate enough to go to a school that had a really good music program, arts program. And so
Okay.
when I was a freshman, I played at the St. George Theater, which is like the equivalent of like the Apollo for Staten Island. We did like Broadway musicals. I was getting gigs with my teachers while in high school. So
Wow.
I was able to, I guess
Nice.
progress a little bit
Yeah.
quicker. And then after high school, I went to audio school,
Okay.
which is a trade school for audio engineering, mixing, engineering, stuff like that.
Right.
And then I just started, getting out on the scene and playing from there.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. Cool. Well, we often try to make sure we get towards the beginning of the conversation some of your music in. So we want to make sure we get some folks to listen to some of your music here. And so I think we're going to start with this cut. It is called Paranoia. Paranoia.
Yes, that's a good one. Shout out to Isaac Hayes.
It's suspicious. I can sense it. You don't listen. Feel the mention. My brain clicks in all the games. So many things is on my plate. Paranoia's on the way. Paranoia. Stand alone in my four-corner room, waiting for my call from the crew. Hop in the car off of shrooms to use it. I see the purples and greens. We zoom down the block, then we enter. Bell house, two-stepping, then I tense her. I guess the stem start hitting, yo, I messed up. Crowd looking like devils in a sex club. I got to go, I'm throwed, it's like a minstrel show. This ain't the zone I chose. I juxtapose intent and goals. And get my brothers dapping, then I exit dough. I went for fresh air and then my tension slow. The stars are low, moon glow, smile is shown. Walk down the block, shorty asks, why you dipping for? Because it's paranoid. I can sense it. You don't listen. Feel connection. Cause paranoid. All the things is on my brain. Paranoia's on the way. It's suspicious. I can sense it. You don't listen. Feel the mention. Cause paranoia. Tricks and all the games. So many things is on my plate. Paranoia is on the way. Right off the back, like a wave off my back. I ascended in fact, speaking fast, code and crack. Life goes on the map, I'm the track in the dash. Wanna see me in the flash, keep it in the flash if it's fitted. I need an album line, get your PA straight and you can call my line. Attributes is stupid, over ass is fine. I ain't trying to offend or sound asinine. Get about the line, take a walk for eye. Let's talk about our sound. What you need in life, but what you think you like. You gotta aim for the shit. You can pray, you can bake, but don't wait for the shit. Don't wait for mistakes, you be making that shit. Success is our best and we ain't for that shit. Take my number and shit. You hoping that I'm not involved. Bug it because you carry those. I can sense it. You don't listen. Feel the mention. Cause paranoia. I'm tricks and all the games. So many things is on my plate. Paranoia is on the way. It's suspicious, I can sense it. You don't listen, fail to mention. Cause paranoia. My blood tricks and hella games. So many things is on my plate. Paranoia is on the way.
Hot fire.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes, man. Feeling that, man. Feeling it.
I like it.
Thank you.
So obviously, we got a little Ghetto Boys thing going on there. But tell us about the process of coming up with this idea in terms of doing this track in light of the Ghetto Boys.
Everyone first says the Ghetto Boys, but really it's an ode to, for me, Isaac Hayes. A song called "Hung Up on My Baby."
There you go. There you go.
I just really like that song, and I just wanted to record it. So we got in the studio and recorded it like the original, and then I went back and produced around that. The beginning part produced around it, and then the end was like an ode to the original song.
Okay.
And then, ironically, like 2 weeks ago, I got the stems to the Isaac Hayes song, the multi-track to it. So a year and change later, I got the actual the tracks to the original song, which is This is very rare.
Now, how did you get that, man? That's a producer's dream, man.
I can't tell
That's
you
a producer's dream. I had to kill you.
Come on.
Yeah, I have I have a source, and I have a bunch of multi-tracks that I shouldn't have. But
Y'all didn't break in, did you? Did you break in? No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
So tell us about that evolution, though, in terms of doing this production thing that you're doing. Because you said you were doing some audio engineering, and how did that evolve to production?
Well, I started learning production at the senior year of high school.
Okay.
My cousin had gave me Reason 5 or something like that. Just messing around.
Yes.
I hate Reason. That's such a horrible software. And eventually I got Logic.
Really?
It's so bad, man. Eventually I got Logic, and audio school was like I guess a backup plan because I had flunked out of college. I went right to audio school thinking I was going to learn production, but I didn't learn production. I learned engineering, which is the technical, scientific side of music, scientific and mathematical side of music. But going to audio school gave me the tools to further explore production. So it took me a couple years to find a sound.
Right. Yeah. Because I know the story about Dr. Dre. He was an audio engineer, man, and then he kind of moved into production, and kind of rest is history.
It's weird because I was in school for engineering, but it's like backwards. I got further in production first, and so the
Okay.
first album I didn't mix it. First album I just produced it. The second album, but the first album I recorded a lot of stuff too. But the second album I recorded a lot of it and mixed it. So as the years go on, I've gotten more comfortable with mixing my own stuff.
Okay.
Wow.
Cool. I love the collaboration too, man.
Yeah.
With the folks there. Now, do you come up with the ideas for the collabs, or what's driving that?
I just myself and BD3, we'll just throw people around. Like we've been collaborating with Edson Sean
Okay.
for years. I met Edson Sean first before BD3.
Okay.
Right out of high school, when I was in college, I met Edson Sean. So we've been collaborating with him for years. Jermaine Holmes, he's a background singer with D'Angelo, an artist in his own right. He's featured on the album. He's somebody that we met on the scene and worked with. So I think it just depends on the song. What the vibe is, and you just know people from your network that might sound good on it.
When you are not working, what is something you like to do that has nothing to do with this stuff?
It's not much. Maybe the Knicks game, which is on right now.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm kind of losing it.
Okay.
Because I'm missing the game, but this is great.
Well,
so you live and breathe.
they're looking good this season. Finally.
Yes.
Finally.
I think we should be able to catch the second half.
Yes, my boy. I live in the Dallas area, but I had to get the NBA package, man, so that I could watch my Knicks.
Oh, so you're from Jersey, but you're not a Nets fan.
No. Well, let's put it this way. I used to be somewhat of a Nets fan, but I was always primarily a Knicks fan.
Okay.
I was always primarily a Knicks fan, even though, because if I go back to the point when the Nets were from Long Island. So
ABA and all that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't see. I mean, I think my parents took me to one when I was really little, to all the way out there on Long Island. But so I remember when they were in Long Island, and then I remember when they came to Jersey. And so I definitely would follow them there because they have some good players and everything. But I must admit, I grew up on the Knicks, and so I could never, I was always primarily a Knicks fan. And then once they left Jersey and went to Brooklyn, I'm like, I love Brooklyn and all, but I'm sorry. I mean,
from Brooklyn, I would never rep that team.
Yeah,
me neither.
Yeah, and that's what honestly, and that's what I keep hearing. Everybody's like, "Oh, I'm a Nets fan now." I'm like, no. You're not a Nets
New
fan.
Jersey fan.
Right. You're not a Nets fan. You're a Kevin Durant fan.
Durant and Cade and Kyrie and all of them
and
guys.
Kyrie and Harden. You are not a Nets fan. I mean, so now I would say 80% of the people in New York City are repping the Knicks, and at most 20%.
More like 95.
Okay, I feel you.
95. Yeah, they don't really have a real fan base.
Yeah,
nothing but kids.
I'm praying.
Durant fans.
Praying Brooklyn loses, bro. Praying they find a way to blow it.
Yeah,
I want to see them in the second round.
Yeah, the Knicks. Can you imagine the Knicks and the Nets? Can you imagine how that?
And regardless if the Knicks lose, they're still going to be the story.
Yes, no doubt. Yeah, but I never, I'm sorry, but when you start talking about the Knicks,
I'm like, this is the perfect time to have some wine. And I'm bored. I'm bored.
The Knicks haven't been good in 20 years. So my daughters, who I made Knicks fans from birth, they are finally getting the opportunity to be happy fans.
Some sustainable growth.
Yeah.
So that's it, Uncle Nephew. That's the only thing you do in your downtime.
I used to be a big gamer, but I don't have the motive for it, the stamina for it anymore, the attention span.
Okay.
I went and bought the new Xbox. I barely even play it.
So did
If
I.
I do play it, I play 2K, the NBA game, but that's about it.
What about the tattoos?
You
Do
can
you
see
have
those.
tattoos? I saw in the picture, and I in your photo, and I was wondering
You were
what
really examining that photo, huh, Regina?
I was examining the tattoos. Look, I have my own, man. Yeah, man. I was examining the tattoos.
Yeah, I mean they're an expensive habit. I wouldn't call those like a downtime thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I have
Yeah.
one. That's it.
I got about 10.
Wow.
Yeah, I was checking them out, especially on your right arm. I think it was at the very, like either it was at your wrist or rather, or at the very top or something.
Yeah, this is
You
a
did your
Prince one
research.
here,
No, I was look, I
and
was
this is
checking.
Michael.
Eh,
See that?
I
Okay.
wish we could see it better.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's upside down, but it's Michael. It's,
cool. I
when he
wish we
does
could.
it after the moonwalk thing.
Now I have to check it out again. Yeah, I was looking at that.
You didn't need an excuse, Regina. You can just
To check out tattoos.
you can just continue to look at his picture. It's all right. So here we go.
My
Let's try to move on and be professional here if we can. So things are opening back up. You're getting ready to get back out there. I know you're excited.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll get back to a normal schedule before the summer is over, or will it just kind of be, when called or when the opportunity arises? Like, do you think you'll get back to normalcy soon?
I mean, I'd hope so, normalcy, but I think it depends on if these cases go up, and I don't really know what to expect.
Mhm.
I'm hoping. I'm at the point now. You call me, I'm there. I get my second vaccine on the 12th. So
Yeah.
other than that,
Yeah.
even before that, you call me, I'm there.
Right.
Hopefully, things open back up soon, and like my mindset was in the pandemic was to one get as many albums done as I could, but also have my drumming content at a high level and consistent. So you always hear about people, getting tours from people finding them on Instagram or on YouTube. Like for example, Mono Neon is one of the most sought after bassist guitarist in the world. Prince found him on YouTube.
Wow.
Just now when Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall were doing Coming to America promo, he got mentioned in that because they sit around. Eddie Murphy sits around and watches Mono Neon play bass on YouTube. So
Wow.
you never know
Yeah.
who's watching.
Wow.
That is the truth, man. This is such a unique era for music and finding music, discovering music, and enjoying it. I mean, it's such a big change from literally just 20 years ago. It's amazing. So, we'd be remiss if we did not ask you about your name, my brother. You got to tell us about
You
the
didn't
name.
hear about that before, or maybe I didn't have the name then.
No.
Well,
I think we did.
yeah,
I think we touched on it a bit before.
yeah, it's different, and now we see you. It's a totally different story.
Yeah,
It's a
it's a
totally
different
different.
story.
That is true.
It's
That
a
was a
new
phone
interview.
one. Yeah. So the name, I'm an old soul, basically. I love a wide variety of music and black cultural things, TV shows, all that stuff. And so when I first started going on tour, there was a guitarist, older, he's in his early 40s. And so he used to, because I sleep to like a playlist. And so it's a lot of slow jams and old school music. And so he would hear the music that I listened to and he would say, I'm older than him. I act older than him. So he gave me the name Unkle Nephew, but I was like his nephew.
Mm.
And so I just took that and ran with it.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's a real cool name. Very, very distinctive, man. You can't forget it.
Definitely is.
Thank you.
I like that.
Forget it. Yeah.
Wow.
So we're gonna get into your next track here, and I believe it is "Why Do You Love Me?" And so, all right, yeah, we're gonna kick it off.
Thank you.
Truth Culture Radio, baby. True.
That's Paranoia.
Oh, sorry about that.
Whoopsie.
Gotta work on the controls here a little bit. All right, here we go.
There it is. Damn.
Better than never. Shit. Stay true. Yeah.
Always knew from the start I had too much love in my heart. Sometimes I can't tell me apart. It's hard. I fell and now I'm with you. To tell you the truth, I'm not sure if I'm the one for you.
You could be my Chi-Chi, and I could be your Goku. Spirit is the bond, keep me so strong in everything that we go through. If I'm the leader, you best more correct her. See, you the real G, hold the whole fort down. There ain't nobody better. Won't let up. Peace to the gods, I'm covered in hot stepper. Ignites in my fire, her passion is hot pepper. Dumpling and jack iron, she seasoned like cast iron. Shoot my cast and rod, she pull me like that's mine. And damn, I don't study, it's you that time mining. Your curves are mining. Jeez Louise, I found my peace. It's that I try fashion for weeks. Let the birds choke on worms with their beaks. Shut up.
Is it in my eyes? The way I sacrifice. Is it that I'm proud of you? No matter what the price. Is it in my love? Could it be my heart? The way that I've embraced you is about to above.
Yeah. Why even do you care? Assess current affairs, you debating from your chair. Yeah. Sipping my drink and reminisce. Laying in the tub, bubbles up in it. Move your soul like I'm soul, see we grown. You were free, be here. You were scared of letting down your head. Split the home base and then you had it. I let you down from the top to your bottom. Spanked you on your bottom. You drip like a faucet, soaked up. Nipples was poked up. Rest of the sheets off the top, you got roped up. The referee here tapping out when you choked up. It's dope love. These facts are true. Take the trail and lead it back to you.
All my screws are loose, and I'm janky too. If I stop crying, will it be you that I lose? And I can't take that too, cause I'm out of touch and I move real fast. You know that I said I loved you way back. Here we are, staring through this piece of glass that divides me and you. Is it in my eyes? The way I sacrifice. Is it that I'm proud of you? No matter what the price. Is it in my love? Could it be my heart? The way that I've embraced you is about to above.
You opened up for me. Yeah. You opened up for me. Yeah, girl. Yeah, girl. Opened up for me. You opened up for me. Yeah, girl.
More hot fire.
That's my favorite song I've ever done.
Yo, that is a dope song, man.
Yeah,
Seriously.
It is.
That is well done on so many different levels.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's pretty. Who's singing? The vocalist.
It needs to be played in your truck with the sunroof open.
Yes.
I always Whenever I have something good, I always think about driving down Eastern Parkway in Brooklyn. If you're from Brooklyn, you know where that's at.
And
Yes.
pumping it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who is the featured vocalist there?
That is Christina Fleming. Ironically, I spoke to her today about doing another song for the next album. She's one of those people you can't catch them all the time. They're not phone people, not internet people. So you gotta catch them when you can. But ironically, today I called her and we're gonna get a session in on Friday
Yeah.
for the next album.
Nice.
Pretty
Yeah.
voice.
Definitely.
Yeah, she does.
A lot of talent.
Yeah. That is that track is filled with talent from every single performer.
Yeah.
And but the best part might be just the production on it. So
that song took me
dope.
about
Dope.
2 years, man.
Wow.
2 years just to get it to that point. For a long time it was in like demo mode.
Right.
And it sounded completely different. So some influences for that were obviously it's the break from is it Impeach the President, I think that is. Yeah, Impeach the President, if you know that song from the 70s.
Okay.
That's the break from that. LL Cool J used it. So the main influences for that song were Mary Jane Girls, All Night Long, Alec,
I love
Rising to the Top. What's that dude's name?
Rising to the Top.
Kenny Burks, I think his name is. Kenny Burks.
Well, we just see.
I'm pretty sure it was Kenny Burks. It was him, and then it was Mary Jane by Mary J. Blige. So,
But there's also Sean Price, and there's a Kenny Burke.
It's just Kenny Burke, man.
Kenny Burke, yeah.
But they're two different. Yeah.
Kenny Burke is the one I know.
Yeah, that's the real one. Yeah.
Cool.
Were you guys watching the game?
They're getting punched right now, by the way, the Knicks.
They are.
I saw you watching the game. I was watching you. I was watching you, and I'm like, is he watching a doggone game?
It's losing by a lot.
It's 34-12.
Yeah, when I looked, it was 27-7.
Who are they playing?
They're playing the Nuggets.
The Nuggets. I mean, you expect that, but I didn't expect it that bad.
It's early though, right?
Yeah,
crazy.
12 points in the first quarter.
12 points in the first quarter. I mean, that's tight. That's tight because they've been playing such good offense recently.
Yeah,
the rest of their schedule is not easy.
No, it's not.
It's just what's it? The 6-game road trip. They played 2 already, right? This is the third.
They won the first 2, and then they play Suns,
Phoenix again. You got
the
Clippers. You got Lakers.
Yep.
So you can beat the Phoenix because they didn't lose that bad in that game.
Yeah,
and you could beat the Lakers too because they're not very good this year. So, you go 3-3.
Yeah, and they actually played decent against the Clippers when they played them in New York.
Well, hopefully they'll be doing some load management. So
let's hope so. But yeah, man, that is a really, really tight track, man. So we look forward to bumping that on our playlist because we do produce these playlists, and we're gonna make sure that is definitely featured on our next and upcoming playlist because that is a tight one right there.
So I can still hear it. It's still stuck. I'm still bopping to it. It's stuck in my head. That's great.
Yeah. Indeed. So tell us about what's next, man. I know you talked a little bit about some things that are coming up, but what are these specific plans in terms of the next album, kind of the next shows and all that stuff so folks can kind of get ready?
There's really no real plan as of yet. Right now I'm just in, creative mode,
Okay.
That's really what it is. We have about 7 really good songs, really good songs. And so I'm excited about that. I'm hoping to have something out by the summer, but I want to have this project done right, released right, so we can have some sustainable income from it, and some sustainable opportunities from it. But right now we're just in creative mode. We have some really good songs, and the album is in a totally different direction from the last. It's going to be called Sunnydale too, but it's a little bit darker. It's a little bit older sounding. It's inspired by two artists and albums in particular. Larry June, who's a West Coast San Francisco rapper, and Freddie Gibbs, who was just nominated for a Grammy for the album Alfredo, Freddie Gibbs and Alchemist. So if you're familiar with those projects, it's going to be in that vein. A lot of music that sounds like old 70s soul music, early 70s soul music. You know, heavily musical, but rapping on it. And that's something I wanted to focus on in the next record. People always say my stuff is really musical, which is great, but that for some people that takes away from the hip hop element of the record. So I wanted to make sure this one is hip hop heavy, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I mean, I love the fact that there's diversity in rap now, and in particular diversity when you have lyrical rap, and so I appreciate that, man. So I'm looking forward to it. Definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And so the current project is called Sunnyvale 1.
Sunnydale, yeah.
Sunnydale 1, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we got to make sure that everybody is on with Sunnydale 1.
Okay, so no, I was trying to go through it in my head. So hip hop versus so what musical? What we usually think of funk music, because I heard like a funky bass line in there, and so I was trying to analyze that. So hip hop usually is it more? Shut up, Q man. So no, I'm trying.
No. Okay, all
That's
right.
because of my love for music that I actually want to analyze. I'm analyzing what that. I'm going through hip hop music in my head and different songs, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I never looked at it that way.
Such a tough question to answer. When you think of, so I'll give you an example, right? When you think of musical hip hop, you take Kendrick's "To Pimp a Butterfly." Are you familiar with that?
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
You should listen to that album.
Yeah,
that's a very musical hip hop album. It's not like, so if you take that album and you compare it to his last album, Damn is more hip hop, trap, drum driven record, when To Pimp a Butterfly is like essentially a jazz record with him rapping over it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and honestly, it's interesting that you mentioned that, because there are a lot of different phases that we've had in the hip hop in terms of different phases, because you started out with just samples, right? And you started out with break beats and samples, right? And then you had artists like Houdini, who brought some like R&B to rap, which you didn't really have. But now you've got a situation where people are bringing whole musical songs that you would have regular lyrics to, but you're doing it from a rap perspective. And I love it, man. I absolutely love it, because I love the diversity in it all. Because I think hip hop, honestly, is I don't think you could put hip hop in one particular lane. I think anything you could make hip hop, depending on how you handle it in terms of.
It's all about the lyricist, the rapper, his flow.
Yeah, absolutely. The rappers, the flow, and to the extent you throw in some samples maybe here and there, but any genre of music, I mean, Little Nas X, look what he came out with, a country hip hop song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great point. So this album, I wanted it to samples. I wanted, it would be music that we got in the studio and made, or, worked on together, but I would treat it as samples. So if I had a vocalist on it, I'd pitch up or down their vocals or something, or chop it up, So I wanted it to sound like samples. And you made a great point saying anything can be made into hip hop at this point. And so Larry June is an artist that has these obscure samples, right? So he'll take like he has a song called like Orange in Vancouver or something like that, and it's like
Okay.
this. It's like this 80s Herbie Hancock sounding song from
Okay.
like a Japanese artist, and he's just rapping over it. It's not hip hop at all, but but the type of lyricist and flow that he has, he made it into a hip hop record, and that's what heavily inspired me for Sunnydale too. And you guys will hear that it's kind of all over the place, man, but I think it works.
Cool. We're looking forward to it, man.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. So keep us up to date in terms of release dates and all that stuff, man. So
Definitely
we can check it out and
will
promote
be
it.
out over the summer.
Okay. Cool. I'm glad to hear it's not that far away. Very glad to hear that, man.
Yeah.
And so we appreciate you coming on with us, man, especially when the Knicks game on, because I know we're both sacrificing right now, my brother. We're both sacrificing right now.
I'm a little happy. I'm not watching it right now. It doesn't look enjoyable.
Yeah, they haven't had a game like this in quite some time, so you know.
They haven't had a game like this in over a year.
Yeah.
Since the last season, you know. So.
Yeah.
They might turn it around. They might turn it around.
Oh no, we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know not on the Nuggets. I don't know about that.
We shall see. But thanks so much, my brother. We really appreciate you, and we're looking forward to keeping in, definitely aligned with what you're doing and promoting what you're doing as well, my brother. All right.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys for having me.
Take care, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you too. Good night.
Cool.
All right, man.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
there you have it.
Talented guy.
Yes, he is. And I love his perspective on things as well, man. So he's got all the tools necessary to keep on making it happen. So I'm looking forward to hearing what he's coming out with next.
Regina's about to say something.
No, I just have this whole music thing running like with my students. We had this conversation, and the hip hop, they said that's rap, and I was like, not necessarily.
Right.
But now I'm starting to doubt myself because I'm like,
no, you shouldn't have doubted yourself.
I'm like, hip hop and rap are two different things. But they can, yes, but they can. No, wait.
So let's think about it this way.
Right, because you can think of a singer who's hip hop.
Yeah. Let's think about hip hop, and let's think about that rap is a subset of hip hop, and hip hop R&B is a subset of hip hop. You know, and hip hop jazz is a subset of hip hop. I would just think about it that way. Because like I said, I honestly believe because of the nature of hip hop, you can make any genre sound like a hip hop record, frankly. And that's what I love about it. Because it makes everything accessible, honestly, and transferable in many ways. But well, maybe we'll do a show on the origins of hip hop. We should do that.
Yeah,
something quite different. We should do something.
Yeah, and let's hear something that has like a lot of like instruments in it too. And the whole time that's where my mind was. I was trying to think of songs.
This is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do because you can't, because of the whole rights issues and everything. You can't play all the songs that we might want to play in terms of their full length. But we could do a DJ set as part of this, where we're playing some of the key and instrumental hip hop tracks from the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, and just to kind of let people know about the history a little bit and how it's done, and just having a DJ be a part of what we're doing as well. And we got a few DJs that we're connected with that we could kind of have, not to mention, Dr. Rich could do it for us as well, other people. So we'll see. We'll make it happen.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That would be fun. But I do want to encourage people to check us out on all of our social media platforms. We're doing some great posting literally every day on soul birthdays, on this day in hip hop. You want to check it out. You want to go to the site, because on the site we got this incredible calendar. Kind of tells you everything that's coming out in terms of all the different content that we have and all the different postings that we're making, and that'll be all in one place on the particular calendar. And we still got some really great content from last week on Maxwell and De La Soul. And next week you should be we're gonna do another member of that family. We're gonna come out with a Tribe Called Quest. So we're excited about that. And so that'll be coming up very, very soon. And then lastly, just encourage everybody to go to the site and give us your emails, because the newsletter is in the process. It is in the process. All right. Yeah.
Well, another night we have gotten through.
Yes, indeed. And then next week, we got another returning interviewee, but now on the live stream, Tim Bowman.
Oh, wow.
Tim Bowman will be with us.
We get to see people now.
Yes. Now, I'm not sure I'll be with you, but he'll be with the show with you guys. So
Ray will be here.
we'll see about that. We'll see about that. But anyways, my people, appreciate you guys.
Well, enjoy your weekends. Do your stuff. Make good choices.
Yes.
We'll see you here next week. Regina looks like the party has already started at her house.
It's in my head. The party's always in my head, baby.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I
There's nothing wrong with that. That's the way it should be.
Yes,
That is the way it should be. All right.
Well, all right, you guys.
All right. Be well, everybody.
Take care, y'all.
Be fabulous.